Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome back from wherever you have tuned into. I want to tell you welcome back to my channel. Today, we'll just have to go straight right into the point. We're talking about the reason for Japa. Japa actually is a new term used for relocating. So we're basically going to be talking about the reason why Nigerians are relocating. And believe you or not, from 2018 up to date, from 58%, it has now increased up to 98% of Nigerians are relocating, like they are looking for every means to relocate. And the reason number one is insecurity. Nigerians have really gone beyond traveling for green pastures, like they have gone beyond traveling for wealth. In those days, yes, but now is insecurity. Like last 2 weeks, I received a mail with a lot of pictures from someone in a village called Bondo, Puva in Benue State. I think they're actually sharing boundary between Taraba State, that some government came, they got their houses burnt, they killed a lot of people. Some of them like stay in the forest for like 1 week without eating, and nobody is talking about it. The government is saying nothing, and the media is saying nothing. And I think about it, I'm like, this is happening, it's not only in that village, like it could happen elsewhere as well, and nobody is still not talking about it. And because of things like this, Nigerians are Japa, they are ready, because you sleep in your house overnight, you don't know it's so sad because you don't know what the next day holds. Like you don't know what is going to happen in the next minute. And then number two is lack of quality education. Up to date, there is no quality education because you are not sure when to get into school. There is some kind of exam which is called JAM. Then somebody will finish secondary school and spend up to 5 years trying to get that exam. And then when you get this exam, you finally get into a high institution called university, which maybe if you are going in for a course of 3 years or 2 years, you will end up spending 10 years. For crying out loud, yeah, you end up paying 10 years, spending 10 years in school, something that you could have just done like 2 years or 3 years. And then the cost of education is so high because for those who cannot go to those kind of public schools, which is called the government schools, they had to pay so high to go to a private school. And the number three is lack of employment. There is no so much employment in the country because you see a lot of people have spent the so-called 7 years in the school and they are out of school. People look for jobs from their youthfulness up to date, like up to their 50 years, 40 years. I've seen people who have passed through school, that some with first classes, some with an up to date. They have never worked in their life. So there's lack of employment. And then corruption. The corruption is so high because people have to pay to get a job. Before you could get a job, you have to make some payment, you have to pay some money to get a job, and that job at the end of the day cannot even be guaranteed. There is sexual abuse or sexual demands by the boss when you finally get the job, or in exchange of the job, you have to have a kind of a sexual commitment before you get. So there's so much corruption. And the number 15 is low minimum wages. Low minimum wages. That is how you see a lot of debtors You see them going to UK, you see them going to US, you see them now going to Saudi Arabia to work because your pay can take you home, because the minimum wages is very low and the high cost of living or the high cost of spending things are very, very high. And for example, like someone working in a government parastatal or wherever is earning like 100,000 and probably the wife does not even have work. So a family of 4, let's say you have your wife with 4 kids or 3 kids and you are having 100,000. So what would that do? And then a bag of rice alone is costing up to 50,000, which costs the half salary of your pay. So how can that work? So things are very difficult. And then the other one is forced marriages and religion pressure. Like you see minors now, they are being forced into marriages to go and marry without their consent, or they are not willing to do that. They are willing to go to school, but at the end of the day they are forced into marriages or religion or family pressures. Because in Nigeria, there's when you get to 35 years old and you are not yet in a home, like you are not yet married, the pressure, the discrimination is too much, is too high. And that is the reason, like if I could figure out, those are the most reason, because of the pressures that make people now travel abroad. Like you can see some families, or maybe 5, sometimes they have to like contribute money to make sure one siblings go out there. And this has made us African even lost cultural values, because in those days like Christmas, New Year's, the period where the whole family comes together, we share with love. No matter where you might be staying, you come home to share these lovely moments with your family. But this is not happening anymore, because you will see in the family, one is in Kafanchan, one is in Japan, one is there, wherever you think you can go to survive. They are scattered all over the place. And sometimes you leave your old parents back home there, like they are trying to deal, or sometimes even your husbands, like they are trying to deal with these situations. They are trying to deal with loneliness. They are trying to deal with depression, because there are some that never even get to see their families or their children up to date, you know. So this is what Japa is causing families, is tearing families apart. People are not doing it because they like it, but they are doing it because there is no way out. Tell me what you think about this video. Do you think I'm being sincere here? Do you believe in 100% what I'm saying? If you do, please subscribe, hit the notification button, and see you soon in my next video.